Hi guys, welcome to or back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make this beautiful blue SUMMERY necklace. To begin, the materials you're going to need for this little project are very different from the materials you might need for other beaded projects because we're going to be using beading wire. This is the beading wire I have. It's the Beadalon 7-strand 0.38mm gold beading wire. I also have this in silver, but I'm going to be using gold. These are not as necessary because you could just tie the wire, but I have some rings. I'm not sure if they're split rings or jump rings, but I have those, and of course I'm going to need the beads. So I have these beads. I'm not sure if I'll use the disc beads, but I might use little gold spacer beads here. And I also have these seed beads, which is probably what I will be using today. The final materials you are going to need are some wire cutting pliers. You are going to need these for the rings. And finally, these pliers are circular on the end. All of these 3 pliers are different purposes for these projects. So yeah, let's get right into it. Quick little disclaimer, this is not a very beginner project if you're just new to beading because it does involve wire and different pliers and materials that you wouldn't normally use. I would go check out my other videos if you want to learn how to make regular beaded bracelets with string like this. The first thing I'm going to do to start this project is take off this little C-clip that holds the string in place and just let it unravel a little bit. If you notice these C-clips on your beaded wire, that is just to keep it in place so it doesn't unravel and go everywhere while it's being stored. During this project, I am going to leave the beading wire on the spool so I can always have access to more wire if I end up needing it. Just like any other beaded project, I am just going to leave this spool off to my left and start beading on the right. When making these, you can bead in a certain pattern by hand, or you can use a bead spinner and mix a bunch of beads together to get a random order. That is what I'm going to do, but if you don't have a bead spinner, don't worry because you can do this by hand just the same. I'm not going to go in depth on how to use the bead spinner in this video, but I will make a new video explaining how to use a bead spinner soon if you guys want. Let me know in the comments down below. The process of adding the beads to the bead spinner can get relatively messy, so I am going to do that off camera, but I will check back in with you guys once I'm all done. I just finished adding all the beads to the bead spinner. I added about 2 scoops of each color that I wanted to use, and now it's all ready. I'm going to mix the beads around with the back of my spoon to make sure the bead order is as random as it possibly can be. Once the beads are all mixed up, I'm ready to start beading. Again, I'm not going to go too in depth on how to actually use the bead spinner and add the beads to the wire because that is pretty self-explanatory. This video is mainly helping people on how to start and end this necklace. But enjoy a little sped up version of me using my bead needle and getting all the beads on this necklace. Moral of the story, I really hope you guys are not struggling as much as I am because I've had to break so many of these beads to make sure they actually fit over the wire, so yeah. Well, this is the damage that I've done with my beads, but I am officially done beading the necklace, and this is what it looks like. I actually love it so much. I have this cute little vacuum, so I'm actually going to use that to clean up the beads right now. Anyways, this is the finished necklace without any of the attachments on the ends, and I'm so excited to wear this during the summer. It looks so cute. These pieces are not a necessity because you could just tie the wire through the little hole on the lobster claw, but I am going to use this and I'm going to show you how to as well. A singular one of these pieces looks like this. It's kind of hard to show all the sides, but it's a little clamp that you put the string through the bottom and then close the top to make sure everything's secure. You're going to need 2 of these for this project. You're only going to need 1 lobster claw. As for these rings, you can use as many as you want to make the chain. If you have a chain already, that's also really good, but you could just make a chain out of these as I'm going to do. The first step towards actually making this into a necklace is to put the wire through the little hole on the bottom of these pieces. Then once the wire is all the way through the piece, you're going to tie a knot. I would recommend tying 2 to 3 knots to make sure it's very secure. I often use pliers to help secure the knot and make it even tighter. This is what the knot could look like. It would be relatively thick because you would be layering multiple knots on top of each other. Once the wire is knotted, you're going to pull this clamp up all the way. You're going to cut the end of the wire You're going to cut the end of the wire as short as you possibly can to make sure that the knot doesn't unravel, but make sure the wire still maintains inside that clamp. After you cut your wire, you're going to push the clamp up so the wire is on the inside and close it right up. You can close it up with pliers or with your fingers. It's pretty easy either way. Next, I'm going to take just one ring. I'm going to open it up, place the lobster claw clip onto it, and part of the clamp that has the 2 holes that should line up. Once those are both attached to the ring, you're going to close the ring however you would like. And you can move on to the other side of the necklace. To do this, you would push the beads down as far as they go. This is where you would finally end up cutting the other side of your string. I would cut it and leave some wiggle room so you have some room to make any mistakes if you happen to make some. Next, you're going to do the same thing you did on the other side with the clamp and insert the string through the bottom hole. Next, you're going to push the clamp as far close to the beads as you possibly can. This next part is a little tricky, but you have to try to make sure the knot is as close to the beads as you possibly can make it so there isn't any extra wire in between the clamp and the beads. I only did one knot, but again, make sure you tie it 2 to 3 times to make sure it's fully secure. After you securely tie your knot, you're going to cut the wire as close to the knot as possible, just like you did in the beginning, and then you're going to close your clamp over the knot. Finally, we're going to make our chain, so you're going to take as many rings as you want to make your chain. You're going to open the first one, connect it to the part of the clamp that has the 2 holes that should line up, and then connect another closed one to it as well. You're going to close this one up, make sure it's very secure so the rings don't fall apart from each other, and do that process again. In this case, I wouldn't open up every one and add another one. I would open up every other one, connect it to the previous one, and add a new one. This makes it very timeless and quick. I will return to you when I'm done with my chain and the necklace is complete. I'm finally done with making my chain and the entire necklace is complete. I could always go back and add more rings to make the chain even longer, but for now, this is all I'm going to do. This is the final product, and I think it looks very gorgeous, and I would love to wear this in the summertime, and I'm so excited to do so. This necklace is so summery, and I love the colors, and I especially love that it was made on a bead spinner. It just makes it so much cooler. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please let me know down in the comments below if you want to see more long form videos like this, or if you have any questions. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow my Pinterest account for this channel linked in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye guys!